Alright, hello everyone, it's mysticjuicer back with some more Yomi action after a long delay. I'm going back through the archives, and this is a match, the first match actually, of the Yomi Olympic Challenge. Yomi Olympic something? The Yomi Olympics. It's a bit of a different format. It is a first to three. Each member or each participant of the tournament selects 3 characters out of the entire cast of 20, and every time you win with a character you can no longer play them in the set. So pick 3 characters, win once each with them. Every round is double blind, so after this round, no matter what happens, no matter who wins, both players will choose from their entire remaining cast of characters and select a new one to play. So my team going into this is Geiger, Onimaru, Troq, and Phrawger has chosen Rook, Argagarg, Midori. So battle of the high tiers versus the low tiers. And he's starting off by kicking the shit out of me. Apologies for the low quality of the video. We're going back in time here. This is recorded on my laptop, which died a little while ago. So I upgraded to a desktop so I can now record in true HD. We're going back to simpler times, back in the 8-bit era when I still recorded Yomi matches, when Yomi matches still existed to record. And unfortunately, I'm having a real tough time with Geiger versus Rook. Definitely an advantage match for Geiger, but this is one of my very early games with Geiger, so bit of a learning curve here. Tougher character to play than I initially thought, and I played a couple of attacks, which tried to block my way up into a bigger hand in the early game. Got thrown a bunch. Tried to defend myself with time spirals. Got punished for it. Yeah, deny the perfect at last. Probably not going to follow this up because I do not want to go below 7 cards. 7 cards is my comfort zone with this and many other characters. Got the knockdown, so I will try for a 5 attack here. Try to go for a cross-up. Get denied and punished. So I am at 57 health now, against Rook's 90. So reason that Rook typically has a difficult time in this matchup is Geiger, of course, reaches the late game much earlier. Nice, get to punish a throw there. I'm still kind of in trouble in terms of cashing out damage, so I'm glad he actually played a face down card there. I probably would have respected it either way. But this way I avoid spending all that much more of my hand. Okay, choose to pick up a jack and try to go on the offensive here. So I have 44 damage in hand, counting just the spirals. Definitely not enough to kill. That will leave me with a very, very difficult hand to deal with. Hit the last jack, so I've got plenty more damage. That's right, yes, I notably decided not to pick Rook in this tournament. Okay, good stuff. So he was going for probably either he was going for a really hard throw punish, or he was aiming to simply stuff a low damage combo. Just deal plenty O damage with 10, trade away my remaining, my 2 temporal distortions, and then try to close out the game there. I do play basically everything out of my hand, which leaves me in kind of a tricky situation. But I do set up the really good research and development where I can look through. I was looking for, a king. Threat of king is pretty good here. Yeah, I should probably pick up the 2s so that I can eventually pick up 2 more aces. I play the jack to Try to avoid getting hit with anything too big. At this point, 9 damage is still plenty. Fortunately, taking 5 to the face. I can pick up... I have no idea what I'm listening to right now. It's been way too long. Obviously, very good stuff. Could be Doug Dimmadome, the Doug Dimmadome remix. Get thrown. I do have 20 damage in hand, though. I can power up these 2s. And if I remembered what was on top of my, what the order was on my deck, I'd be better set up here. Okay, just get a 6, so I can try to wake up with a 6, punish something, and then just lead into double ace. Choose to try to block up instead. I think it's very likely that he goes for a block from this position. Block is very conservative. It loses to throw, but even if I manage to throw, he knows I can't throw into anything. So wisely choosing to block from that position. May choose to be aggressive. I'm really kind of worried about jacks. Yeah, that's also good. Puts me on the ground. He's got another turn of advantage. This is scary. He's got a 9-card hand here. Choosing to power up for 2 aces. So pretty strong 5-block setup. I'm trying to punish his wall of vines, and also potentially hedge against Checkmate Buster, but that's not really on my radar. Yeah, that's kind of what I was worried about. It's unfortunate. $22, not looking good. Yeah, Stonewall was definitely something to worry about there. Okay, powers up for 3rd known ace. So I'm sub 40. At sub 40, I am a little bit worried about Checkmate Buster, but I've got to also be worried about just a good attack. So he's blocking up, showing me 2 blocks. Rip the Joker immediately. Okay, take at least no damage from that. But he definitely comes out ahead 5 blocking that. I'm just consistently playing not to die to Checkmate Buster, but it's rapidly becoming irrelevant. Yeah, I'm reading my lips, and I'm pretty sure that's the Doug Dimmadome remix. Drop a link in the description below. Rip another Joker. But we're going to continue to play safe. Blocks again. The patience on this man. I'm just trying to catch anything. Like, literally anything to get me 2 aces. He's at 19 hit points. And I've been tossing... I think I've already tossed the 3, so I keep drawing 3s and not being able to convert those into aces. So I had chances to play more conservatively here. He's been unwilling to pull the trigger. Finally goes in with the jack. No longer even face down. Yeah, no, there is no lethal combo. Yeah, that's correct. 19 is max. Jack 7, 8 for max damage. That is also pretty good. Though I really don't have much. I basically have to dodge or play a king here. If I block, he can ace me twice to kill. Yeah, predict CMB. Yeah. So he gets me with the CMB. Minus 46. Nicely done. Nicely done. I'm screaming. Yeah. I mean, you gotta let yourself feel that. He played that really nicely. Good early game. Played very patiently in the late game when I had squandered my damage a couple of times and was very nicely rewarded. Played ton of blocks that prevented me from really getting back in the game. So nicely done. So I choose to go back at it with Geiger. Oh, yeah. So I actually didn't wait. I actually didn't wait long enough. I thought he had hit ready, but that was not the case. I'm sitting here crying. This cruel monster just feeling himself while his opponents try to play the game. So I picked Geiger again. He's playing Argagarg Midori. In theory, Geiger is good against both of those characters. But again, it's my Geiger. But the point is, I need to win with this character at least once to be able to win the set. So why not play him now? If I get Midori and lose to Midori, that at least eliminates the Midori versus Troq matchup, which I'm a little bit worried about. It still leaves me with Argagarg versus Troq, but again, if he beats me with Argagarg, he can't pick Argagarg against Onimaru, so I do have to win 3 in a row against him winning 1 at that point, but you know, it also leaves me some potential outs. I can win a little by losing a little here. So we're gonna go to our happy place. We're gonna block a lot in the early game. I'm trying to finish him off with a massive temporal distortion combo. Try to take not too much damage. Okay, so far so good. Lots of blocks. We're up at a 10 card hand, which we never got anywhere close to against Rook. Okay, try to throw him, get poked out. But we're going to count on Argagarg not doing too much damage with his combos. Okay, 3, 4, 5 is not great. Does give him an ace, which I would prefer him not to have. I, like many people, do not enjoy playing against Argagarg, particularly because of his aces. Okay, powers up for the ace, or gets an ace in hand, and then protects it from throws by queening or playing attacks. Bomber notably cheering against me right now because this was shortly after I had openly declared that I was no longer playing Rook because I thought that Rook was a bad character. Yeah, unfortunately, Rook is still a very effective counterpick against me. As yeah, I don't know. I find him awful to play in retrospect. Although I can still do it if I really need to. I don't enjoy it, definitely, anymore. But yeah, I still have a mental block against him. Okay, so we go in for some damage, even things up a little bit. keep ourselves in the game. No time spirals at all so far, and Argagarg at 11 card hand has not yet played his aces. Okay, block a king. Threaten some card advantage of our own. Okay, power up for second ace. So the question is it a bait for a king? Is it a throw? No, just plays it. 16 damage. 16 damage is really good. Argagarg playing to close out the game. He needs 2 more. No, whoops. All right. Counter is fine. Puts it back in our deck. For whatever reason, there's a bit of a glitch where I think it's if it's the only card in your discard is a single queen or a single jack, it shows you a jack or a queen from your opponent. All right, protective ward. So I cannot super combo him here. So I've got to either defend myself against... yeah, I've got to not let that happen to me, unfortunately. Yeah, so I need to protect myself against throws because he has very, very low risk, or very little risk of throwing in that situation. And if he throws my block successfully or throws faster than my throw, then I'm going to be in a position where I've lost my temporal distortion. I don't have tremendous pressure. I'm at very low life, actually. We're going to go for the dodge. Okay, has another ace block. Wow. This cruelty right now. 4 damage a turn, so I've got to get out of here at some point. And pokes out my throw attempt. I thought for sure he was just going to block over and over again. He exploited it beautifully. See if we can deny. Nope. It's just going to get that damage. He's got 2 aces in hand now. Bomber with the anti-cheering. Okay, double dodge. That is a definite combat win for Phrawger. 3 kings though, and plenty of throws. So potentially we've got a couple of different, or several combat turns we can play where we can knock them down over and over again to maintain lead, or to maintain our hit points. But no, closes it out with double ace. Nicely done. So down 2. Got to put my game face on. Got to open those packs. So he is now stuck on Midori. Got to win 1 game as Midori versus each of Geiger, Oni, and Troq. And therefore, no reason for me to go into double blind because he knows exactly who he's going to play. So I'm contemplating here whether I should whether I should actually just lead Geiger again. I'm actually not that comfortable with Troq versus Midori. I don't love the grappler versus grappler matchups. I don't know how to think about them. I don't feel comfortable in them. So Troq Midori, which is already Midori advantage, is not great. I haven't had great luck with Geiger versus grapplers, obviously. So we'll go for the confidence round. We'll play Onimaru versus Midori, see what happens. So start off with a 10 in hand. We can go for immediate 10. But the tendency, I think, from the Midori player is going to be to play a 4 or a 5 attack to kind of hedge against first turn 8 or 10. Both 8 and 10 will guard crush any of the blocks that Midori has. This is actually fine. I really don't mind this as an opening play. It puts him at 5 cards in hand, and I'm still at 7. Still got my 10, so I didn't waste that. And we'll see if we can do some work. Hey! So perhaps thinking that I had revealed the 3 because I did not in fact have a 10, goes for a 7 block. 7 block is a pretty high block. It's fine. I said out loud. So we even things up. So now we don't have any guard crushes. So we're going to go to blocking. See if we can get some counter pokes. Nope, we get thrown instead. This is still fine. If he... Okay, so he doesn't put another card on top of that, which is unfortunate. I would have liked to have seen that happen from my perspective. It gives me lower hit points, but at the cost of pretty good card advantage. So my options here are just wake up Queen, or I can go for a block. I don't really want to risk the only block that I have on a possible mix-up turn. So Queen is relatively low stakes. There's pretty few things. Yeah, the singing has stopped. It's nerves time. Okay, immediate dragon form. Immediate dragon form. So I've got a couple of options. I could go for blocks and get kinged. Okay, no, choosing to block our way out. Immediate. So the couple of different things I could do. I could immediately play a final authority backed face card or another queen, which has pretty good odds of succeeding. But that loses very hard to simply blocking, and I don't want to give him the opportunity to do that. He's tempted. So I'm going to go block and let him spend some resources. He is down into 6 cards. I've resolutely down backed. He has not really indicated that he has any throws that he can actually play. And I am notably not throwing with the 8 because I want to punish blocks. And given the way that he has played the last couple of turns, I much prefer this kind of combat win. Obviously he can, he threw himself out of it, so that's super great for me. But losing the throw clash would not have been nice. And now we're just bullying low hand Midori, who's unwilling to play low attacks. Continuing to spend cards as we draw them. We've got a couple of 5s, which are nice. We were nicely set up for some final authority plays. Ooh, get punished with the 5. Should have played my own 5, but wanted to try to punish a block. Probably could have stood to have played a Joker there, but 42 hit points is still pretty high. And there's nothing that jokering there as opposed to jokering slightly later is basically no difference at all. Play the Jack to get him to 20. Oh, it only deals 1 chip. Never mind. It's been a while since I played this game. Or at least it's been a while since I played Onimaru in this game. Last tournament I played in was Quince only for all players, so kind of tough. Okay, first successful throw of the game. Toss the 5s. Probably could have stood to have just thrown the 3s instead. But this is fine. We've got plenty of face cards, plenty of opportunities to chip. Yes, always card advantage. Okay, goes immediately for Dragon Form. He's got 2 known aces, or no, I think 3 aces. Yeah, three known aces in hand. I can throw here because I've got 2 jokers as backup, and his aces do not. Yeah, show him that it was hopeless. Show him that it was hopeless. Gotta get, you know, you've gotta win some matches psychologically too. I've just gotten stomped 2 games in a row, so had to get my groove back somehow. So we'll go back to Geiger. Now we've had a game, a win under our belts, and see if we can turn this around. Similar concept, Geiger versus Midori as Geiger versus Rook. Midori does have kind of scarier combat options, I would say. They do lose a little bit harder to, like, Geiger's Jack as 2.24 speed is kind of a nicer move against Midori, where it loses pretty hard to Rook's Jack as it is 2.2. Nice, we get the cross up here, and we're going to lead that into 5, 6, 7 Jack, probably. Yeah, let's get the damage where we can. 26 damage and an ace. Can't sneeze at that. We do have not a single block or throw now in our hands. Okay, luckily we draw one. I'm going to go for the block here. Got a nice bit of a life lead. And we can afford to pump the brakes, see what resources that Phrawger is willing to spend. See if we're still able to go in. Okay, quickly detects that no, we've gone back to block mode. So he goes in with throw into EX Tatsu. The beautiful 24. I love that combo. It's probably my favorite combo in the game. Just super, super satisfying. So we have an opportunity here to just play Joker. It is pretty nice to save Jokers against Midori in the mid game. I'm playing normals here instead of spirals because I can't take advantage of the spirals. Playing the 6 is probably a little greedy, but I am kind of stuck on an awkward hand. And yeah, so he's still pretty heavily incentivized to try to throw me here. So we're just going to go in and deal some damage. We've got a nice 30 hit point life lead. We draw a 10. He puts up Dragon Form. A couple of options here. I can go for a cross-up or Jack or Joker. The Jack is way effective against that block. In fact, the 3 or the Jack would have worked quite nicely. No way to know that, of course. And blocking is always correct. Especially on low hand, it's totally fine. Okay, so we got beaten with a queen. That is alright. Big damage, but he is still on 6 cards. 6 card Midori is going to have, unless he's got 2 more queens in his hand, it's still going to be a little while before he is able to really capitalize and be a threat to my hit points. There's that particular speed clash. Works out nicely in my favor, I think, at this point. I've still got king, which is going to tie with his queen, which is also a great interaction for me. he has kind of indicated that he's still got dragon cards, so okay, luckily managed to throw when he decides that I'm trying to protect myself. Throw for 18 to try to push for lethal here. Still have 2 jokers. Definitely in a good position. Would love to draw a throw. Yeah, do not play that as its ability. Definitely want to use that as a throw. So he goes back into dragon form. I'm going to try to joker my way through this. Unfortunately, was a bluff. Did not have any options left in hand. He is going to get a chance to pick up a queen from discard. So now the things he's got to worry about are immediate ace-ace from me or king. So I should actually probably just try throwing him with the 4 because I do have the 9 as a backup throw if I need it. We're hoping for a block here. But yeah, with a king in hand or with a queen in hand, he's got, you know, potentially if he thinks it's the fastest attack, he can just play it. Yeah, that's fine. It does lose to ace-ace. It does lose to king from me. I'm not facing down there because I don't need to prevent lethal on that turn. The only issue now is if he does have another queen, I will simply explode. Yeah, that is definitely the correct side of that to play. He does dodge, and I do have to worry about king or queen into lethal here, so I am going to joker. I think you 100% go for lethal here. Yeah, and he does. Luckily, I draw really well, so I survive. Was not expecting the dodge there. Yeah, I mean, going for it there is absolutely the correct move. I do now have, though, the threat of jacks, so I can threaten spam jack or throw. If I believe that he still has a dodge. If he's got a jack and is willing to play it in case I go for the throw. But luckily he does not. So he's got to have a joker here. Or actually no, even with a joker this is lethal because I can throw into the queen and the queen will deal enough damage, including the chip damage, to kill. So I don't like that I did that. That was actually potentially still a way for him to get back in the game. Definitely should have played the queen. But luckily am not punished, as he did not get the jokers he needed. Whew. Okay, so Troq versus Midori. Not a good match for Troq. I stand by that. Midori, it's at least slightly more, slightly easier to understand this match for me, I think, because Midori kind of plays a non-grappler version of this matchup. So it's basically Troq, you know, as Troq you're playing versus a non-grappler. His, you know, attacks are going to outspeed yours except for your jack and your queen and ace-ace, but his throws are going to lose to your throws. So notably the 3 throw, the 2 throw, the king, you know, are all really great buttons to push in the matchup. First turn king, second turn king is all good. Yeah, like this is, you know, if you're gonna pick a grappler, pick Troq. He does everything you need in a character. He's got very dominant single face cards. He can play incredibly conservatively. He just has every tool that you need, and unfortunately Rook and Midori both are kind of hampered in the game in terms of what they have available. So now Phrawger returning the favor with double with double king. Nicely done. I do draw 2 10s, so I have the potential to be a big meanie. I'm going to go for a 9 throw here to try to throw a block, as you know he's spent 2 turns throwing, so obviously he's going to expect me to play something that beats throws, which would be attack, and he gets a lot of mileage off of blocking here. So really hoping he's blocking, hence why I'm risking the 9 throw. We are not in there. So the reason this is not a great matchup for Troq is that Troq's most devastating mix-up in the mid to late game is dodge into Beast Unleashed or just raw Beast Unleashed. And the fact of the matter is that Midori's face cards, once he's in dragon form, or if he has a 10 in hand, just beat both sides of that mix-up. So so long as he's playing a queen or a jack, he's not going to lose to you know, the most effective, most efficient way that Troq has of getting back in the game. So we're on our backs. He is no longer in dragon form though, so that's good. I can go for block up, or I can just play a very conservative either side of jack, really. The slow side of jack only really loses to queen or jack from Midori. It does, I mean, it does lose the block, but he seems to be getting pretty aggressive. Does have the queen, so punishes my wake up. And flips it around, but he's going very, very low on cards. So if I can put myself back in this match, I have a chance of taking it. I just need to survive. I've got all the cards I need to power up, and he is at low enough life that we can make something happen. Block the Joker. First time we do that. So far we have only one combat with King Throw. I mean, it is a pretty good move. Okay, block some more vicious protective blows here. He is not gaining any cards. If you go low hand in the grappler mirror, it's very, very tough between you know, a lot of your kind of good defensive moves being on your face cards, which don't draw you cards, and just, you know, defense mastery, meaning that if any of your attacks are successfully blocked, you're not gaining anything from it. Ooh, managed to power up for 2 aces and then draw the 3rd ace off the top. And we immediately press this button. So if Phrawger knows anything about me at all, you should know that I always dodge in this situation. So I was actually expecting the throw there, but hey, we'll take 45. That is absolutely fine. The efficiency of the throws. Yeah, so now we've got life lead. We have 2 war stomps, which we are going to immediately spend, or we're going to spend at least 1 to put him on his back. See if we can get for a cross up. We have a single joker, so we can. We have a higher hit point value than he thinks, or that it appears that we do. And seeing him discard the 4 there is actually really, really good. And me picking up the 4 of my own is very, very excellent. So I'm definitely going for a cross-up attempt here. It's not going to lead to a tremendous amount of damage, but he is only at 15. So if I go 4 into a queen or something, or if I draw a 6 off of this, I'm going to be extremely happy. And we draw lethal. So 4-5 jack to close things out. Ooh, so tense game. Very, very nicely played by Phrawger. He definitely had me tilting after the first 2 games. Only narrowly made a comeback in the Troq game. And the Geiger game, I think, was... oh, you know, it's been too long since I've commentated Yomi. I can't even remember what the life totals were at, but it felt pretty close. I definitely felt pressured. So thanks for watching, everybody. As always, links will be in the description below if you want to get involved in the game.